Okay. Great. All right, January 7th, first meeting for 2025. First, we'll start with the public hearings. Public hearing number one, is anybody here to speak to the proposed local law number one, implement of occupancy tax of up to 3% on overnight lodging of hotels, motels, and other short-term and vacation rentals? And, public hearing number one, proposed local law number one, to implement the occupancy tax of 3% on overnight lodging in hotels, motels, and other short-term and vacation rentals. Last call was proposed local law number one, to implement occupancy tax of up to 3% on overnight lodging, hotels, motels, and short-term rental vacation rentals. All right, we'll go on to public hearing number two, second public hearing for the Community Development Block Grant Water and Sewer Lateral Connections Program, project number 285 WS 315-22. Second public hearing for Community Development Block Grant Water Sewer Lateral Connections Program. And last call for the second public hearing for Community Development Block Grant Water and Sewer Lateral Connections Program, project number 285 WS 315-22. All right, without anybody to talk to them, then we'll call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Scott.
Present.
Councilmember Silliman.
Here.
Councilmember Pinello is recorded absent. Councilmember Lane.
Here.
Councilmember Thompson.
Here.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Here.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Present.
Councilmember Michaels.
Here.
All right, if we can all rise to salute the flag, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so we have some swearing in of some fire officials and then some board appointments and commissions. So I'm going to first pull agenda item, do agenda item number one, and once we do this confirmation, then I'll do the swearing in at that point to everybody. And agenda item number one, confirmation of mayor's appointments to board and commissions.
Resolved that the city of Portland Common Council does hereby confirm Mayor Steve's appointments as listed below. To the Board of Public Works, William Stark for a term ending 2020, December 31st, 2027. Also to the Board of Public Works, Mike Milligan for a term ending 2027. To the Fire Commission, Paul Quinlan for a term ending 2029. The Historic Commission, Karina Murphy for a term ending 2027, as well as Dan Deneen, a term ending 2027, and Chris Ryan for a term ending December 31st, 2025. To the Police Commission, Patricia Hansen for a term ending 2029. To the Wastewater Treatment Board, Kevin Kwiatkowski for a term ending, it should read there, 2029. To the Youth Bureau Commission, the next three names, Rebecca Smith, Lori Hogan, and Janice Myers for terms ending 2029. And to the Zoning Board of Appeals, Jacob Van Gorder for a term ending 2029.
Can I get a motion for this? Mr. Scott, Ms. Lane? Any questions on these appointments? Okay, move it, please.
Councilmember Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Silliman.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Chief Friedman, if you would be so kind to come up and make some announcements. I'd like to do your, not the board appointments first, but just the peer auxiliaries.
Okay, first off, we'll call up the volunteer assistant chiefs. They were just elected here in December for a 2-year term for their bylaws. So I'll call on Deputy Chief Charlie Sherman, Assistant Chief Tom Casterline, and Assistant Chief Scott Fairbanks.
Oh, you stand, yeah, he's hiding, but you can stand right here. We can all parallel right up. That's good. Chiefs, we appreciate everything you guys do for sure. And I see it seems like I only get to see Charlie during fires like we did last night and you guys as well. So we appreciate everything you guys do. So with that, could you raise your right hand? And I state your name.
I, Charles Fairbanks,
Do solemnly swear.
solemnly swear
I'll support the Constitution
that I will uphold the
of
Constitution
the
of
United States
the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York.
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
And I'll faithfully discharge my duties
and faithfully discharge my duties
as Deputy
as
Chief
Deputy Chief
for the city of Portland,
for the city of Portland.
according to the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much. So, I believe we have Fire Commissioner Paul Quinlan here to be sworn in as well. One more? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'll call on our volunteer fire police at this point. Assistant Chief Scott Fairbanks, Commissioner Dale Saddlemeyer, and past Deputy Chief Dave Tanner. And currently our president of Crown City Ladder and Hose, Kristen Gregory. So she's gonna say 2 things when you state your, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you don't want
No, that's fine.
You said, oh, yeah, you're.
Again, thank you guys all. I saw you last night freezing outside. My window wouldn't go down, but he was outside in the fire, but thank you guys for all you do as well. Okay, ready? Raise your right hand, please. I state your name.
I,
Do solemnly swear.
do solemnly swear
I'll support the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of New York.
Constitution of the State of New York,
Faithfully discharge the duties.
faithfully discharge the duties of Treasurer,
Treasurer, fire police. And to the best of your ability.
to the best of my ability. City of Portland.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much. Now can we get the Commissioner Quinlan, maybe have you up here, please. Again, all these commissions, we really appreciate these people stepping up to do this stuff, Karina as well. We'll get to them and we appreciate their input is invaluable and helps this board know that they're doing the right thing. So Mr. Quinlan's been doing it for how many years now?
Close to 20, I think.
And you were captain for our department for how many years?
Oh, for captain,
Well,
6 years for
firefighter.
captain, but a firefighter for 20 plus.
Right. And you raised some beautiful kids here that could play hockey very well.
Yes, they do.
That's it. All right. Raise your right hand, please. I state your name.
I, Paul Quinlan,
You solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I'll support the Constitution of the United States
to support the Constitution of the United States and
and the Constitution of the State of New York.
the Constitution of the State of New York.
And I'll faithfully discharge my duties
And I will faithfully discharge my duties
of Fire Commission,
as Fire Commissioner
City of Portland,
for the city of Portland
to the best of my
to the
ability.
best of my ability.
Yes, thank you very much. And Murphy, we appreciate you stepping up to do the historic, and it's gonna be great to have that input and your artistic ability. We know, right, and we're gonna know that your abilities good as Gilligan's Island, was it not Ginger, was it? What's
Yeah,
the-
it was Ginger.
Ginger.
Yeah.
All right, well, we appreciate those artistic views for sure. All right, so raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Karina Murphy,
Solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York.
and that I'll faithfully discharge my duties
I will faithfully discharge my duties
of the Historic Commission
of the Historic Commission
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my abilities.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing that. It's great to have our volunteers to help us make good decisions for our supporting staff. Now, open the floor, privilege of the floor. Is everybody here that wants to speak on privilege of the floor? Not being said, we'll go to the financial report.
Good evening. I put out the financial report for everybody. This isn't the final for the year. As everyone knows, we're still getting in money for the last year with the last round of water and sewer billings having just gone out. We're still getting invoices in to pay as well. But you can see we're tracking on, in terms of revenues, we're up to about 80%. We did get in our chips, we got in our AIM, and we did start getting in some of our reimbursements that we were looking for. So that made a huge difference for us in December. We're still a bit to the negative, but it's improving. And we were told recently that a bunch of our DRI draws are in their final stage of review now and should be released imminently. So we are getting to the point where we should be a little bit more comfortable with the books. So that's good news. We're working to close up last year, and once we get that done, we'll let you know how it came out. But it's going in the right direction right now, so that's very positive. And the grant proposals, they're in there as well. All the stuff that we're working on. The external audit is nearly finished. We should have that wrapped up. We're hoping within the next 2 weeks, and then I'll get that documentation to everybody. And then we are starting to put together the process, the procedures, and everything we'll need in place to do the new occupancy tax. Do you want me to speak to that a little bit now, or once you get down?
We'll address that.
Okay, perfect.
It's fine.
Does anyone have any questions on the financial report?
Can I get a motion to move the finance as read? Suleiman, the Carpenter. Any questions on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Mayor's report, real brief. Happy New Year to everybody, and the ball drop was well attended. Thank you, Mr. Scott, for helping with that. Thank the ROC, the Youth Bureau, Fire Department, DPW, and PD for making everything safe and keeping it done, not stopping the rain, but that was okay. Bailey Place, McNeil Insurance, for donations for the fireworks, the DJ, and the DJ was extra energetic, which has worked out very well. And of course, Eric for coordinate that event as well. So I appreciate everybody for that. That was a good success. And, it's funny how people fill in the last minute and really kind of broke it up. That was nice. Otherwise, we got some updates on Parker School. We'll talk about that later. The Chief of Police and myself attended a meeting yesterday at 45 Church to discuss some ongoing concerns and issues within that building, and we'll continue to address those for safety concerns, and we'll move that forward. So that's all I had in the mayor's report. Unless somebody has any questions, we'll move to Mr. Scott.
We'll start with the ball drop. What a great event. It was really awesome. I want to thank Eric Mulvihill for some great pictures he took from the rooftop, getting things together. It was wonderful. And even though it was raining when the ball came down, people just were not going to give up on bringing the ball drop back and making it great. There was a lot of attendees. The cheers, the clapping, the yelling, it was awesome. You would have thought there was 3 times as many people there. I thought it was a really, really good event. Ward 1, I just want to tell you, Ward 1, honestly, most of the people are doing a great job with all this snow. I want to thank the ward for doing what they've been doing, keeping the sidewalk clear, keeping your steps clear for the postman, all the stuff that we need to do to keep things functioning inside the ward. Other than that, it's been pretty quiet.
All right, thank you. Ms. Salone?
It's been quiet in the second ward. A lot of our neighbors are gone over their winter break. And we're looking forward to the energy they bring when they come back. There was a rash of break-ins, which the police saw, really appreciative of that. Want to remind people to look out for their neighbors. And if you are going out of town, anybody who's going out of town is welcome to call the police department and let them know when you'll be gone. And then ask them to keep an eye out when they do their drive-bys. So just keep an eye out for each other. And I personally love the snow. I think it's really pretty, even if it's way too cold.
Thank you for that. Thanks for the advice. Ms. Pinello, is she, if we are able to unmute her, is she on that?
Yeah, I can unmute her.
If she has a report, would it accept it online?
Okay. I've asked to, oops, yeah, so she's unmuted.
Yep. Hi, everybody. So
Yeah,
the
so
third
hold on a
ward,
second.
Let me turn it up.
okay. Let me know when you're ready.
Here, go ahead.
So the third ward has been quiet. I hope people are noticing how beautiful the waterworks looks at Christmas time and get a chance to get over there to see it before they take everything down. Also, the house on the corner of Forest and Groton Ave doesn't even resemble what it used to look like. They're doing a tremendous job, and it's definitely improving the neighborhood. That's, we're good. So I don't have anything else.
Thank you for that. Thank you, Mr. Dexter, for the lights. We really appreciate it. It looks great over there. Thank you. Ms. Lane,
All quiet in the fourth.
Nelson.
Pretty quiet, in the fifth. However, as I've stated before, there are quite a few deer in that ward that are. It's a lot of hill on that ward as well, and so I just very concerned. I know there are some neighboring, communities that have called in some reinforcements to help call some of the deer, and, because New York State is currently overpopulated. And for the city's safety, the residents' safety, with cars, hoping that we can somehow work something out.
We'll discuss that with them further. Thank you. Thank you for that. Mr. Carter.
All quiet in the sixth.
Mr. Beckwith.
Just real quick on the fire department, obviously mentioned earlier, they had a structured fire over my ward, they did a great job, unfortunately, I was out of town. But Wayne informed me and I think the outcome wasn't, they did a great job. I mean, nobody wants to lose their house or have damage, but they got it under hand pretty quick. Haven't seen it there.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Yeah, within 10 minutes, they were able to get it under control and, he did a great job and he did a great decision by bringing in extra help when it's that cold.
Yeah.
By the time, I was watching the pumper, the guy outside the whole time was sweating. Just, it's a lot of stress, a lot of work. I was really impressed.
And people don't realize, unless you've been in the fire service house, when it's this cold, how quick something can go wrong, believe me.
Yeah, it iced up even around the area pretty quickly. But the resident who we all know was our district attorney at one point that had the fire. Him and his grandson were able to get out fine, and I did a check on them yesterday and made sure they get everything they need, so they'll be in good shape.
Great job.
Thank you. Mr. Michaels?
I did wander down a little bit on New Year's Eve to catch some of the festivities before we got too soaked. Was a large event considering the weather.
We're gonna hold off a half an hour, right?
No, I know. As for the ward, I haven't had any complaints, believe it or not, this time around. If I have, they haven't caught up with me yet.
They will.
They will, I'm sure. They'll jinx themselves for sure.
Mayor, can I add something?
Absolutely.
I could see the fireworks from my bedroom window and they were beautiful.
They were great this year.
Yeah.
They did a great job.
Really nice. I could hear them from my bedroom.
We had residents, go out in the street. They weren't down in
Yeah,
downtown, but we had residents go out in the middle of the street and just watch.
yeah,
So it was a great show.
Yes, it was. Very good.
that was a good spot too.
Yes, it's been highly successful. We're very excited for it.
And thanks for Mr. McNeil for the great donation. We have
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Crazy how expensive they are, but it was very nice. Okay, thank you. Approval of minutes. And if we get a chance to review the minutes, get a motion, Ms. Sullivan, Mr. Carpenter, any questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Resolutions, agenda item number 2, affirm mayor's appointment of Troy Beckwith as acting mayor.
Resolved that the common council acknowledges and affirms Mayor Steve's appointment of Troy Beckwith as acting mayor for the city of Portland.
I got a motion, Ms. Sullivan, Mr. Scott, thank you.
Congratulations.
So again, first, Mr. Scott, I'd like to say thank you for your year of putting in, and doing the job. You did a great job and it's very much appreciative. And for everybody else who wasn't at the other meetings, when we talked about this every year, we're looking to do is to get more people involved and more people educated. So there'll be a position in the personnel committee that we'll try to work on. Maybe there's interest, okay? And try to, just give everybody the opportunity to move on. I haven't made the decision yet to move anybody out of committee or the current appointments. I'm gonna leave that. Just, I think there's more work to be done, and I think it's important to keep the consistency within those department heads. I think they need that right now, so we're gonna leave that one alone. But again, I appreciate everything you've done and being able to cover and know that the times I'm not there, it's going to be, and also excited to have Mr. Beckwith step up and do the same.
Oh, you do a great job.
And I'm sure do an awesome job and it'll be challenging to do better. How's that, Mr. Beckwith?
You're calling me already.
There you go. All right. So with that, we'll move it, please.
Councilmember Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Nay.
Councilmember Michaels.
Touche.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Okay, thank you. Agenda item number 3, designate signatories.
Resolved that the city of Cortland Common Council does hereby authorize and approve Mayor Scott Steve and Elizabeth L. Greenwood, Director of Administration and Finance, to serve as signatories for the city of Cortland, subject to applicable charter and New York state laws.
Ms. Lang, Mr. Scott, any questions? Okay, move it, please.
Councilmember Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 4, amend the 2024 adopted budget by $3,262.72.
Resolved that the city of Cortland County Council does hereby amend the 2024 city budget in the amount of $3,262.72 as outlined in the accompanying table.
I need a motion. Mr. Scott, the Carpenter, any questions? Okay, move it, please.
Councilmember Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 5, adopt local law number 1 of 2025 to implement an occupancy tax of up to 3% for overnight lodging at hotels, motels, and other short-term and vacation rentals.
Just a moment, lost my place. Resolved that the city of Cortland Common Council does hereby enact the following local law to amend chapter 254 of the city administrative code to implement on or after March 31st, 2025, an occupancy tax of up to 3% of the per diem rental rate for overnight lodging at hotels, motels, bed and breakfast, short-term and vacation rentals, and other types of lodging that are less than 30 consecutive days.
Okay, motion, Mr. Scott, Ms. Lang. So I know, there's some questions on the percentage rate, and, I just want to clarify, this is 1% for this year, and the purpose for 1% is, that, you know, that we have to have a plan on what the money is being expended for and what we have. We're not sure exactly what this revenue stream is going to look like. Probably more importantly is we don't want to give the disadvantage to city-owned hotels to be taxed too much higher than outlying hotels to push business away from them. So as to not detract from our city hotels, the point is to stay at the 1% and then see what the revenue is and facilitate our needs. And then from there on, we can make sure that if we need more than that, or if we have to do that. But by the way this local law is written, that could be done during our budgeting process. So during our budgeting workshop, this would be a specific discussion topic. And how we allocate those funds will be in that topic point, which we haven't done yet this year. But we'll adjust them as we go, and we'll get a better feel for it after, not the first quarter, by the time we get this up and running. Everybody have a chance to comply and get in the system by the first quarter. By the end of the second quarter, we should start seeing revenues and get a full year of seeing the cycles, because I'm sure during the summer we'll really fill up hotels and then go outside of that. So that's the justification between the 1% to go to the 3%. And again, it's easily done at the budget year. That's the
Can
process.
you explain to me, I know what the occupancy tax is, but it'd be before sales tax or after? Or is it a separate line?
It's a
Are we gonna
separate,
share this occupancy
We
tax?
get all.
It'll be okay.
the city gets all of it. So just to clarify, good question. But there is other occupancy tax that's already put on from the county. So that county, and then that county money, and the county takes that money and they use it, like they'll subsidize the 1890 house. So, they'll do different programs and different travel tourism, the travel tourism board, those kind of items with that funding. But we can't generate directly for the city revenue with that. This gives us that ability with that to be able to help.
So it's gonna be like reading your phone bill and only go check it in a hotel.
You're right. It'll be listed separately for that. So it's a pass through. So it doesn't hurt the business, other than it could hurt them if we get it too high and it pushes it. But when it's already, some of the concerns I think you brought up before was the rates that we're charging are higher than that. This also gives us the ability to tax the short-term rentals, the VRBOs, the rental homes that we are, and some of the code enforcement that Captain Everett's working on now is to be able to hold them more accountable in the code aspect, which we will look forward to having sooner. We'll get delayed because we don't have an attorney, but we'll work on that.
Which are getting pretty, popping up all over around here.
Yeah, yes, so that's something.
Which is great, but
Be considerate.
everyone is very broad.
Yeah, something that's good that's gonna come out of this is the fact that we're gonna be completing Main Street next year, and we're gonna want to get businesses booming again, get people downtown, so hosting events that we normally had put off for the last 2-3 years. I'd like to jumpstart that again, to get these businesses up and running again,
Yeah, and something.
and this money will help.
Yeah, something that came up in the youth bureau meeting today too, that we bring up is the showmobile. Looks like it'll be done in February, which is gonna be great for us to have that all summer. And so that being able to promote and do some bigger events is gonna be helpful for being able to do that. So we can make some bigger concerts by getting better bands on there and those kind of things. So good stuff to have happen. So with that said, nobody else has any more questions, and we'll let police.
Councilmember Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Silliman.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Thank you. Agenda item number 6, create position of tax collection and accounts receivables manager to support administration of a hotel and motel occupancy tax.
Resolved that the city of Portland Common Council does hereby create a full-time position of tax collection and accounts receivable manager to support administration of the occupancy tax, with funding for such position to be allocated from occupancy tax revenue collected by the city.
Make a motion. Mr. Scott. Carpenter, any questions on this?
So if we don't generate the money that we're hoping to, we're on the hook for this salary and benefits. How long is this, like a temporary position based on the how things go, or?
You want to answer? I mean, ultimately, this position would be, we know that you're going to be generating the revenue to be able to do it. Ultimately, that position would be, helping filling in some of the other positions that we have already in our functionality.
So to add to Katie's question, I'm just want to be a little bit more specific in my thought around, we're gonna add a position. Do we have an estimation of what our income revenue would be off of
So, yes.
housing?
let me try to take a stab at clarifying. First of all, so this would be taking an already existing role of responsibility and adding more to them. So
Okay.
it's an enhancement of salary. It's not technically, it's adding a position because we're calling it a new title. Okay, but it's actually adding more responsibilities to an existing positions. Accounts receivable. So having that extra duty of that, because we don't have a job description with that in it. This adds that extra job description role into that and accounts receivable and be able to get the tax collections. So like right now, our tax collections kind of falls between code, and any code issues that roll over, water billing that rolls over, and all that. This person would be able to take on all those responsibilities. So it's not technically adding another position, it's not paying all of it, it's an upgrade. I don't have the exact numbers, but let's say it's $15,000 more salary upgrade, that's gonna absorb that.
I appreciate that clarification.
So did I answer it well enough?
You must have some prediction what we're gonna take in on this occupancy tax in the past, or not? You haven't looked into it. It's fine, if you haven't, I just was curious.
I have some very, very wild numbers, but from talking to the county, I don't wanna throw
That's fine,
anything out
that's
there
fine.
yet, because I really don't know. My concern is especially in this initial year. I'm not sure how long it's gonna take us to truly get it implemented, so I don't wanna say
That's fine.
something and then be lying to you.
But not, what I'm getting, I'm not necessarily asking for a specific number, but will it, the estimation of the wild number potentially cover? the
Oh, absolutely.
$15,000? That's.
Yes.
For sure.
Well,
Yeah, we don't wanna make this and spend this.
right, right.
Understandable.
Like 14,000.
Cover the salary and more, because the whole idea is to use some of that money to promote Portland.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Not to jump out of the subject, we're talking about getting this extra revenue. What legal authorities do we have to go after these people? They decide not to give us our money.
This gives us all that legal authority to go in and stop.
So they have to collect it.
Yeah, it's a taxation. Yeah. No different than sale or property tax.
I wasn't sure how hard the legal part, why they're not.
And where do we stand with Airbnbs and Verbos?
As far, we are working on the legislation of our law to bring to this body to adopt.
Okay,
So we're working on putting those enforcement, but some of the VR, and Beth will help me with this, she's a little more experienced in this. Some of the VRBOs, agencies are easily, they just add it on to their processing, do it. Some of the other ones, it's more of a push, if they're not part of that. I don't know which group it is, one of them.
So Airbnb is set up that they already remit any occupancy tax to all the counties automatically. And for any cities who enact this particular tax, all they have to do is the people who are the hosts of that Airbnb just notify Airbnb that their city is now adding, and they'll just automatically put it on and send that tracking documentation directly to the owner, who then has to remit it to the city. None of them remit it directly to the city, but VRBO does not do that at all. So the owners have to actually track it themselves and do that. So different platforms, some are a little easier to work with than others. But it's like any other business expense, people need to track and remit.
And they'll be easy to track because of the VRBO, everybody advertises it, and it's easy to go after those properties, which ones they are, and then they'll have an inspection process and the whole process to make sure everybody's safe, which is what we care about, and not too disorderly, which is what the
Yes.
quality of life issues are all gonna be impacted by that. So that's why we're rewriting that legislation as we currently speak.
Now, is this gonna be a licensing requirement for these properties then?
It'll be a rental permit application.
Okay, yeah,
It's part of the rental permit program, which gives a little more teeth and a little more responsibility to the people that are in renters as well as the landlords. That's gonna be help fix our quality of life issues, so
yeah,
hopefully it'll be a complicated and probably contentious issue in some aspects, the way we're looking at it, but I think it'll be worthwhile to get things cleared up.
And that's along with the amended. Excuse me. Nuisance property law that goes along with that.
That's right. So, nuisance property law, the quality of life issues that we're discussing. Way out of context, but it's good to have these dialogues, so it all ties together, so I appreciate that. Anybody else? Okay, Mr. Jewett?
Councilmember Scott,
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan,
Aye.
Councilmember Lane,
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson,
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 7, authorize agreement with Crown City Ladder and Hose Company.
Resolved that the city of Portland Common Council authorizes Mayor Steve to enter into an agreement with the Portland Fire Department's volunteer contingent, Crown City Ladder and Hose Company, in the amount of $35,000 for volunteer firefighting services for the period January 1, 2025 to December 31st, 2025.
Need a motion? Mr. Scott? Ms. Sullivan? Any questions on that? Okay, move it please.
Councilmember Scott,
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan,
Aye.
Councilmember Lane,
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson,
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 8, authorize Parker School lease agreement.
Resolved that the city of Portland Common Council does hereby authorize Mayor Steve to enter into a lease agreement on behalf of the city with the Portland Enlarged City School District for lease of the former Parker School building at 89 Madison Street to the district for the period July 1, 2025 to June 30th, 2027, in consideration of the district paying the city $7,500 a month, totaling $90,000 annually. And be it further resolved that the district shall have the option to renew this lease upon terms and conditions to be mutually agreed upon by the city and district.
So,
All right, I have to give it to Ms. Sullivan because this is her award and Ms. Lane second, she's ordering it as well as Mr. Scott too. This is exciting. I just looked at a couple of board members that are in the room and I got the thumbs up that the school district has voted yes on their end. So we're hoping for the same affirmative here. And I'm going to just take a moment. There's a lot of good things that were going to happen on this. We're really excited about this. And I don't know if he brought it up at that meeting, but I don't want to get too specific till we do the press release, but there will be, I was able to secure $100,000 from a private donor to improve the Parker School as part of our public aspect of what we discussed about this plan, meaning, you know, we're hoping to do something with playground, something to do with the gym, and something to do with so the public use space to be able to help this school in pushing that in that area. So I'm pretty excited about this, and I think this work will start commencing tomorrow, even from the school district side to try to get that. But the effect of this lease will start in July, as you saw in the draft document. So good stuff. Anybody have any questions?
just really, really pleased with this outcome. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for hanging in there.
Well, it'll work out, it'll be great, and I think, both parties are excited, and, there's a lot that we've got down the pipe that's gonna be fun about this, so looking forward to it. These are the ones that, wasn't fun getting here, but it's gonna be a lot better now. So with that, we'll move it, please, Mr. Jewett.
Councilmember Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
And agenda item number 9, Mr. Dexter.
Will you accept any comments about what's being taken place between the school board and the city?
As far as that property,
Yes.
yeah, as we discussed before, they're gonna use it temporarily for, classroom space during build out and.
I've heard all of that, but I guess the one thing I'd like to say is going on record of it was voted on prior to the election of you coming into office. I guess going on record and saying the city never should have voted to buy that piece of property going into the election without some input from people coming into the election. It was said at the time that not only was it a lack of enrollment, but it was also improvements that needed to be made to the building, which we've heard $5 million. We are now spending $100,000, as you've stated before, to maintain the building. Who will be maintaining the building if it needed that much repairs when it was bought? And I think some more investigative reporting should have been done to the fact that, first of all, the Baptist Church could never go in there. They were one of the tenants. The CAPCO and the YWCA backed out because of the cost of remodeling the building. I guess my question is, who's going to be paying for the repairs if it needed $5 million to maintain this building so that the school board can go back in there? If it costs us $100,000 to maintain and the lease is only $90,000, who's gonna make all of these repairs in order to have the school board go in there and use this building? Which one of the reasons that they got out of the building was because it did need so many repairs. Has that been discussed? Who makes the repairs to the boilers, any other repairs? And obviously $5 million, there had to been a lot of stuff that needed to be done before this building could be used. That's my question is, are there more costs to the repairs, and who will be making the cost of those repairs while the school board is using it for 2 years?
Right, understood. And again, that's why I go back to the painful getting here. Part of it, and valid concerns and valid questions, but there's a couple complicated issues in tying those together. The $5 million upgrades to make that not a school, to make it into other facilities. Don't get that confused with $5 million needed to make it back into a school. So there's, by the way this has been approached, there's different funding aspects that could be applied, that are being worked for. There's still a grant that's on that I have acquired that we're trying to get converted over. There's other fundings for the school to be able to have it, and then the savings of them not having to put money into portable classrooms will be able to make it utilized. And then from there, the design aspect continues to what works out the best for others. So there won't be a $5 million investment that's needed to keep it as a school. But to change it from something that is not a school to something that isn't classrooms that have to have entrances out every door for pre-K, for example, that's where you start driving those costs up. So rather than retort the whole issue, I agree with some of those other comments, and I would love to show documents that were prior to, but I don't want to get into that because I think keeping things positive and keeping this thing and moving towards a positive direction is the ultimate goal and the ultimate responsibility of both boards to make sure that the taxpayers' money is not wasted. I think there's been some that haven't been, but I think in the long term, I think bringing the community together, those investments, no different than an abandoned property, let's say in Mr. Beckwith's district, that's going to hopefully be bought up from a bigger corporation that's coming in and developing out of Syracuse. That's going to be better for us in the long term. Those are the investments we need to look to in the long term of doing that in the short term of when it is. So that I'm just trying to cap something and give you some kind of answer without leaving you hanging, but I would be glad to sit down and have more in-depth conversations that would be that way.
Don't get me wrong, I'm great that the school is going back in there and it's being used. My concern is just that the cost of maintaining that building,
Yeah.
either I'm paying in my school taxes or I'm paying in my city taxes, one way or the other.
Well, yes, agreed. And again, I look at it as a pair of pants, right? You got the school board is paying in county pocket, you got the school city pocket, you get your back pocket state, we can keep going. But ultimately, that's in the best interest of everybody's eyes to try to get that to happen.
Just one answer, Jim. I'm the one that derived that number pretty much. Working on that project, and Scott mentioned that number was driven by what was gonna go in there, not that it needed repairs to put something else in there. When you got daycare and all that, there's a lot more upgrades that needed to be done, like he mentioned. Every classroom needed an entrance, we needed a sprinkler system, you needed an elevator. That's how that number grew so high so quick.
And it was a lot bigger post-COVID.
So with that said,
It's not saying it's gonna cost $5 million for school going back in there. I've never stated that. I just wanted to make that.
I'm not saying that either.
Right, I'm just saying, that's where that number was driven. It was an all estimated number. We never had an answer really how much they were gonna take, but that's how I arrived to that number.
Yeah.
So
I would
it was
rather,
pretty much spelled out, but I'm just,
we've been beating that one up for years, so I'll move on.
yeah.
And where was I? On agenda 9? Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we took the vote on that.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Fantastic.
Appreciate it. 9, yeah. Agenda item number 9, accept and recognize donations to the police department.
You're right, sorry, I got ahead. I'm Resolved that the city of Portland Common Council, on behalf of the mayor and the police department, expresses its gratitude for the generosity of the donors listed below. And be it further resolved that the common council hereby accepts the following donations to be appropriated to the accounts and for the purposes below. A donation in the amount of $100 from Patricia O'Donnell to the Shop with a Cop fund and event. And a donation of $5,000 from Shirley K. Hill and through the Cortland Community Foundation into the account for the police special investigations, donated specifically for safety equipment for police officers and service dogs.
Need a motion? Mr. Carpenter, Mr. Beckwith. Again, thank you for these donations and thank you everybody for going out and doing the best thing for our community and keeping our police officers and service dogs safe. I'll move it, please.
Councilmember Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Silliman.
Aye, thank
Councilmember
you very
Lane.
much. Aye.
Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 10, accept and recognize donations to the Youth Bureau.
Resolved that the city of Cortland Common Council, on behalf of the mayor and the youth bureau, expresses its gratitude for the generosity of the donors listed below. And be it further resolved that the common council hereby accepts the following donations to be appropriated to the accounts and for the purposes below. A donation in the amount of $500 from the Cortland Community Foundation to the Sharp Trust account, for a general donation, as well as a general donation to the Sharp Trust from Mary Leary in the amount of $50.
Mr. Thompson, Mr. Scott. The community foundation has just been incredible. I don't remember what the numbers were. It was a pretty significant amount of money that they gave to our community, and that's just a great idea and a great program, and it really helps and continues to help. This is the second one we're seeing here. And Mary Leary is just a wonderful person and sends me thank you cards, which is just such a great thing to have. You don't get those very often. So they're good people and it's great to have these involved in our community to really help with those things. So we thank them for that. All right, with that, move it, please.
Councilmember Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Silliman.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Does anybody else have anything else for the best of anybody and anything you want to see? All right, we appreciate it. Our first meeting, we did almost there, but I appreciated everything and we're looking forward to the new year. Thank you again, Mr. Beckwith, and Mr. Scott for your time, and I'll take a motion for adjournment. Ms. Sullivan, Mr. Scott, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
That's right.